Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a departure from our normal videos. Brenda and I are just going to take a walk through this historic cemetery here in Cerritos. And it's actually called Artesia Cemetery, and it's been here since the 1860s, basically. It was used as a cemetery starting in the 1860s, but it didn't actually turn into a bona fide cemetery until 1875. And, you know, it's kind of tucked away in a corner. It's right across the street from Gar High School in Cerritos, but it occupies like this little corner area, and from the street driving by, it looks like it would be private. It just looks really private and isolated. There's only one small gate to enter and one small gate to exit. So it just, you know, it doesn't look like a normal public cemetery. So that's why I never really gave it much of a thought. You know, I just remember driving by, seeing this cemetery here all the time, and I always thought it looked kind of cool. And yeah, I always wanted to check it out. So I figured, what the heck? Brenda and I are going to come here. We're here and we're going to walk around and look at some of these old historic tombstone markers and just get an idea of what the place is like. So that's it. This is one of the oldest cemeteries in Los Angeles County. This is Artesia Cemetery, which was founded back in 1875. They actually started interring people here back in the 1860s. They used this since way back in the 1860s, but it didn't actually turn into an actual bona fide cemetery until 1875. And this was one of the few cemeteries in the area that served basically Cerritos, Lakewood, Artesia, parts of Norwalk, parts of Long Beach, I believe. So this goes way back to the pioneer days. And it's a nice little cemetery. I mean, it's actually 14 acres, so it's fairly good size. In 1928, this entire cemetery was consolidated into one single cemetery. Prior to that, it was consisted of two separate private cemeteries, but then in 1928, it was actually consolidated into one giant 14-acre cemetery. And at that point, it became known as the Artesia Cemetery District. There's so much history here. I mean, wow. Talk about going back in time. This is amazing. Martha, beloved wife of Harvey Williams. Sad to see the little babies buried here. There's quite a few infants and young children buried here. Not even 2 years old. So much history here. Okay, we have a Korean War veteran. Wow, look at this. Born in 1806, died in 1888. Wow. There's quite the contingent of Vetter family here. The Vetter family, there's quite a few. Husband George. Brother Marvin. Brother William. Mother Dora. Wow, 1857, wow. Then you have the father over here, Father. Wow. You see entire families buried here. Here you have another family with quite a few members. The Settle family, Irina, born in 1818, died 1896. Marcus, 1819 to 1896. Maddie doesn't have any information, just her name. Maddie Settle. Then you have the father, L.W. Settle, born 1857, died 1927. The mother, Vienna Settle, 1860 to 1939. And then we have another grave with just the name, Herbert Settle. It's basically the entire family. Interesting grave. It's fairly noisy here too because we're not that far from the 605 freeway. We're just slightly east of the 605 freeway, basically just south of Artesia Boulevard. And Gar High School is right across the street. So you can basically see Gar High School from here. Then you have all the traffic driving by on Artesia Boulevard. And then you have the sounds of the traffic driving along the 605 freeway. So it's not very quiet, at least not during the day. And it's a cloudy, gloomy day today. The sun's not shining, it's dark. So it kind of adds to the gloom here, being in a cemetery, but it's interesting nonetheless. Like, I don't normally like cemeteries. I don't normally like thinking about death and things like that, but it's kind of interesting just to come here and just look at all the headstones, and the people, and just kind of think about what their lives were like. And but at the same time, it makes me question my mortality, and I don't particularly like death. All the gravestones on this section, everyone was born in the 1800s. Born 1853, died 1912. Mother, Estelle, August 4th, 1872 to 1939. Phoebe Pooler, born 1834, died 1920. Wow. Going back to 1834. We're way over in the corner of the cemetery, so this is undoubtedly where they have some of the original headstones, over in this little pocket. So much history here. Wow. Mary Palmer, born 1849. Wow, look at that. Mary Ellen Watson, 1848 to 1928. Now that's going way back. And as you can see, that's Gar High School right across the street. So to give you an idea of where we're located. And this is basically the exit gate exiting the cemetery. And there you have it. That's pretty much going to be it for this video. Thank you for joining. Until next time.